I'm making a sandbox RPG in Tkinter, and I thought I'd just show you guys what I've made so far. It's called Adventure, and it's inspired by Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode. Alright, so we have a start screen where you can create a new save. We have a content screen where you can select what kind of content you want to play with. The goal is to have most, if not all, game content loaded into the game through XML files to allow for easy modding. This file allows you to control the world generation settings by adding in generation rules, biomes, and tile types. The world generation screen is where you generate an overworld map for your game, as well as control the settings for local map generation. The logic for this is handled by the TerraForge library that I wrote. Technically, this is the paid version with some additional features, but there is a free version on my GitHub as well as tutorials for it on my channel. Within the next week or two, I'm going to be uploading tutorials on how to use TerraForge to create overworld and local maps for your own sandbox game, so stay tuned for that. Once you have an overworld map generated, you can take a look at it to make sure it's to your liking before continuing. The character creation screen doesn't really do anything right now. At the beginning of the game, the player is placed in a random location on the overworld map. You can zoom in and out, you can move around freely, as well as enter an overworld tile. When you enter an overworld tile, you're placed in the middle of a local map. Like with the overworld map, you can move around freely. If you leave the bounds of the local map, you're immediately placed back in the overworld map. Okay, so I've shown you what I've implemented so far, so let's talk about the game's overarching goal. Adventure is a role-playing game, but you can take on any role as long as the game systems permit it, of course. So you'll be able to play as like the classic warrior, mage, and thief/rogue. But you'll also be able to play as a chef that runs a restaurant, a traveling musician, or even a farmer that's trying to raise a family. Those are just some examples, but I really want to implement as many roles as possible. The next step for the game is to implement map verticality, if that's even a word. But for the local maps, I want to support full 3D movement. I think it would be cool to be able to climb up and down trees or to be able to jump from tree to tree. That would be good later on if you're playing like a thief character and you want to access a window that's really high up. Or swimming up and down would be cool also. That could lead to things like diving for treasure or just living underwater as some sort of like sea creature or something. But that's it for this update. Links are in the description, and thank you for watching.